Alright guys, so now what we're going to go over is passing the half guard. So half guard is one of my favorite guards to pass, okay, and this is one of my favorite passes to do. Anytime that I'm passing, I think like trying to get to a half guard position to pass is one of the best ways to pass somebody's guard, right? So I like to get to a position where I can get chest to chest with my partner, start controlling his head and shoulders, okay, on the mat, and that way I can start to work on my passes, right? So we're gonna imagine we're in the half guard, and just for the sake of the video, let's focus on just the control and the passing part. So we're not gonna go over if my partner has like knee shield or underhook or anything like that in this video. So let's say I'm here, I'm able to get past my partner's half guard, and now I'm gonna start getting, you know, to a chest to chest position. Okay, one of the most important things here in the half guard is controlling the bottom leg. So if we get rid of the top leg, if he has a knee shield or whatever, I want to make sure that I control the bottom leg. So I don't want to let this knee come back up, okay? So even if I get past the top leg and he has his knee up, I'm not going to be able to pass his guard, right? So even if I'm able to control the head, he can still push me away with the knee, okay? So he has this frame on my hips. So I need to make sure that anytime that you're passing a guard, you need to make sure that you have control of the bottom leg, okay? That's the leg that he's going to use to recompose in most cases. So I want to make sure that I'm going to control this leg. So what I do is I call eating the knee. So I want to make sure that my leg is going to come over the knee like so. Okay, so I'm going to eat the knee. And what this is going to do is going to make my body perpendicular to his body. So I'm going to be facing this direction, he's going to be facing this direction. So our spines make a T shape. Okay, and that's what I want to make sure that I keep when I'm doing this pass, okay, when I'm passing half guard. And in any case, when you're passing a guard, getting to a cross side, you need to at some point create a T shape, okay, with your partner's body and your body. Okay, so I get past the knee with my knee, and what I want to do is I want to put my knee right into the bend of his hip. Okay, so right where his hip bends, I'm going to put my knee in the hip bone. Okay, now at this point, I have both knees on the floor. I'm going to get a chest to chest, okay? And my goal at this point is going to be to start controlling the head, okay? One hand I'm over the hips, and I just use my elbow here for right now on the hips. The other one, I'm going to hug the head as tight as I can, okay? So now the key detail here is going to be my hips, okay? Once I get to this position, what I'm going to do is, because here he still has the opportunity to maybe cross his legs and lock my foot in a lockdown, right? Because my heel is up, okay? So what I want to do is, in order to achieve a better body position, okay, a better angle so that I can finish my pass, what I'm going to do is I'm hugging the head, and I'm going to pivot on this knee, okay? So I'm going to get this knee that's right on the hips. I hug the head, I'm hugging the hips, okay? Make sure when you hug the head, you give no space between your arms. So you want your bicep to be fully locked around your partner's neck without giving space. So I'm not controlling the shoulder. I go all the way around. You can take time and lift the partner's shoulder and adjust here. Okay? Once I get to this position, I'm locked completely. I want to make sure that I position my shoulder in my partner's collarbone. Okay? That way my shoulder is not going to be on his face. It's going to be right on below the jaw on his neck. So once I get here, going back to the pivoting, my left knee, the one that, you know, went over his thigh and is in the bend of his hip, I'm going to pivot. So both my knees are on the floor now. When I start to pivot my hips to the side, the leg that's trapped in the half guard, the knee's going to come up, and my foot, you see how my heel's up? My heel's going to go down to the ground. Okay? When I do this, I bring my leg back. Okay? Now look, my foot here, the one that's trapped in the half guard, is flat on the ground. Okay, so I don't give him the chance to get me on a lockdown. And at the same time, when I do this, I bring my heel close to my butt, and I keep my toes on the mat on this side. Okay, so there's a lot of details happening here. Okay, and we're gonna go over the pass, and then I'm gonna go over the common mistakes that a lot of people make. So as soon as I get here, notice that my hips are not on the floor, okay, and my toes are on the mat. This is what's going to keep pushing me forward so that I can put pressure on my partner. adjust my arm here and pull your partner in. Okay? Once I get here, this hand you can control the pants. Okay, I like to make this grip on the pants here. Okay? Now look, what I want to do from here, once I get to this position, my toes on the floor are going to push and I'm going to drive my head forward, okay, facing the direction of his hips, applying shoulder pressure. And this leg that's in the half guard, I'm going to start walking it forward. So I'm going to release the pressure just to, for Mike here. But what I want to start doing, I want to maintain the pressure the whole time, okay? And what I'm going to do with this leg here is I need to free my knee, okay? So this leg, I'm going to start walking my heel and toe up as close to his hips as possible so that my knee points up, and then I can push his leg down and start freeing my knee. Okay? So let's go over those steps one more time so you guys can get all the details. So as I'm here, I'm in the half guard. Let's say I'm able to clear any kind of knee shield or top leg. So I get past the top leg. I need to make sure I control the bottom leg by putting my knee. So I'm going to eat his knee, put his leg over, and touch my knee right on the bend of his hip. Okay? Once I get chest to chest, I'm going to control the back, pull him in. Okay? I can make a grip right here on the armpit with my fingers, or I can control the back as low as I can, pull my partner in. Now I'm going to start to pivot on my left knee. Okay? When I do this, notice how my shoulder that I'm controlling his head is not allowing him to face into me. But when I pivot my hips, his hips are facing me. So I'm getting a twisting motion here, where his hips are facing towards me and his head's facing the other direction. Okay? I'm going to start walking my toes. So take a look at my toes over here. Take a look at my feet. I'm going to start doing this. Heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, until my foot gets very close to the hips, and then it's going to be easy for me to free the knee. Okay? I was here, hugging the head. I pull him in, controlling the hips, walk my toes, free the knee. Now look, I'm going to put shoulder pressure, and at this point, I'm going to drop, as my knee comes up, I'm going to turn my hips without releasing my shoulder pressure and drop my knee to the floor for a knee cut pass. Okay? One of the common mistakes I see people here is they worry too much about freeing their foot and they lose the pressure and allow their partner to recompose the guard. If he's not freeing my foot, I increase the pressure, turning my head towards his hips until he releases, and then I finish on the side control. So one more time here. And now look, let's go over some common mistakes that I see a lot of people make. So one of the biggest mistakes I see people make is they keep their feet flat on the floor. Instead of keeping their toes, like the balls of their feet on the mat, I see people staying, when they want to apply shoulder pressure, with their feet flat, especially this foot here, the one that's pushing. This is my driving foot. So I need to make sure that my toes are always on the floor when I'm passing, like so, that way I can push, okay? Another thing, when people hug the head, they stay with their head too close to your partner's head. This isn't wrong in certain occasions, but for this technique, I need to make sure that my head is in the direction of my partner's hips, okay? Because I'm gonna be pivoting on this knee, okay? And when my head goes to the hips, it puts my shoulder in the perfect position for me to apply shoulder pressure, all right? Another thing that I see people doing wrong is, it's not wrong, but a lot of times controlling the shoulder, you give too much space, okay? Right here, there's a gap. So as I'm here, I may do everything perfect, where I come, I pivot, okay? I keep myself tight, I turn his hips, but there's too much of a gap here. He may be able to get his hand inside, he may be able to push my shoulder in, my shoulder up, okay? So I wanna make sure that as soon as I get here, I go chest to chest, I get this hand in as deep as possible, and I take my time adjusting, okay? Making a grip, okay? Now my biceps fully locked around his shoulder. I pull him in, okay, just to get it a little bit tighter. I want to put his shoulders flat on the floor. When I pivot, watch how I turn my hips, okay, and my head goes in the direction of his hips, all right? When people turn, A lot of people mistake the pivot for a hip switch. I'm not doing this where I turn my hips to the floor. Okay? One of the common mistakes here is putting your knee below your partner's thigh. Okay? When you put the knee below the partner's thigh, I don't have driving pressure, so I don't have these toes to drive. Okay? And I also don't have any weight on my partner. Okay? And I don't have base back here. Okay? So I want to make sure that I don't put my knee below the thigh. My knee doesn't change position. I just pivot on the knee. So as I'm here, I put my foot, or I put my knee right in the bend of his hip. When I control the head, I want to make sure that all these details are in place. So I can take my time here. There's not a lot of rushing in this pass. It's all about pressure. So I want to make sure that as I'm here, I control as deep as I can. I pull my partner in. Now watch, I'm going to pivot on the top, on the knee that's in his hip. Okay, so if you come here behind me, you can see I'm going to start pivoting on my left knee. So as I'm here, I turn and I just pivot on this knee, pulling his hips towards me, okay, keeping these toes on the floor. Now I'm going to start walking my legs up. This leg comes up, this leg comes up. Free the knee. I'm going to apply pressure. Now when I go to turn, my hip's going to turn and my leg and my shoulder is going to stay in the same place. Increase the pressure until he lets go and finish on the side control.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching the video. If you like my video, please help me grow my channel. Just click subscribe over here. And if you want to see more videos, click any of the videos over here. And guys, if you want to see more in-depth instruction from me, check out my instructional courses at bjjfanatics.com. Os.